Okay, Coach. 9 games into the season. Where do you think the team's at from what you had hoped for in the preseason?
We know that we play a really tough schedule, and I think at this point we're really happy with the results that we've had as far as being 5-4. We love to battle ourselves, test ourselves with a really tough schedule, and I think that we've had some huge wins, especially this past week, knocking off South Dakota on the road, Denver at home, and then getting Nevada the week before. Just some really tough competition that we've been able to come out ahead of, and we just continue to grow every day, every game. We always want to just continue to get better, and that's what we've seen with our new players and our young players. They just continuously are growing and getting better.
What was just some of the stuff in the off season that you were emphasizing with their workouts that you're sort of seeing bear fruit now through?
I think that a lot of our returners are just really working on developing their game, making their weaknesses their strengths, just continually trying to improve. I think that Courtney and JC have really expanded their game to have different scoring options or different weapons for us as far as scoring goes. And then other players that were in the off season they're really working hard. Emily McElmurray, Ellla Gallatin really have played really well for us here in the preseason. So I think they all work extremely hard, and they're seeing that their hard work pay off now.
You mentioned the wins over Denver and South Dakota. What are your highlights, your favorite memories already early on?
There's nothing better than going on the road, just the 20 people in your travel party, and having that locker room post-game celebration. It's just the best. You have these shared experiences with these people that you are just in battle with, and that we love. This team is just a great representation of Eastern Washington women's basketball, and just those shared memories are huge for us. And it's so much fun just to go to war on the road and see that you can win against a really good team on the road. And then obviously against Denver, the last second shot by Ellla Gallatin will stick out as a core memory too. Those celebrations are huge. They're big moments for her and for the team.
Last year you had some injuries, just other stuff. What is it sort of this year to have kind of a actual depth to the team, or more depth that you can sort of work in players and give more players a break sometimes?
Yeah, we do have a little more depth. We still have injuries, unfortunately. We have 5 people out, but I think that we have a little more depth in some different of the guard spots that we didn't have last year with our injuries, and we love to try to give people a break when they need it, or just give some time to some different people, because we know that we're going to need that depth come Big Sky. When you're playing 2-3 games in a week, you've got to rely on your depth. So we love to get that experience in the preseason, allow people to get in the game and get a good feeling, get that confidence, build that confidence. And I think that our players coming in off the bench are doing a great job.
Ella's in her senior year now, handling a lot of the point guard responsibilities. What was that how has she just sort of embraced that, you think, and sort of what was that conversation during the off season?
Ella's just a consummate team player. She's a great leader. She's one of the hardest workers, and so it's just natural for her to be that team leader. But we had those conversations about, it's your team now. She's been here for 4 years. She knows what we expect, and she and I are on the same wavelength all the time with play calls and what we want to run and all those kinds of things. And Elyn Bowers has taken over a lot of the point guard responsibility, but Ellla makes a lot of the play calls mid-game if it's not a dead ball situation. So they both kind of handle those PG responsibilities. But we're just so glad Ella's here. She's a joy to coach, and to be her coach for 4 years is just amazing.
As we just got, JC got Player of the Week. What have you seen? Obviously the last 2 games was the same. What have you seen her just sort of attack the rim and just be overall just improvement from last year to this year?
JC works extremely hard in the off season, and is constantly trying to improve her game, and you could see the fruits of her labor, I guess you could say, with with this last 2 weeks games. Both of these teams tend to play behind in the post, and so we really wanted to be sure that we fed the post, and our guards did a nice job of getting her the ball. And then it was up to her to make those good decisions. And you know, she scored at the rim, which is something that we've been trying to instill in her, to not settle for the mid-range or the three, but to get to the rim, to use her athleticism, her quickness to get downhill, to go score through people rather than fade away. And so she's just continually trying to grow and improve. And I was just so happy with her. She was a huge reason why we won these 2 games.
Going on the road against Washington State, just what do you expect from that game?
They're really good. Their record is not indicative of the quality of opponent that they are. They have played an extremely challenging schedule, just up and down the last month. It's just been brutal, and they're ready to play. They're ready for conference action. They've had so many tight games and so against good competition. So we know that they're going to be a battle there. They are very guard oriented. They have some veterans that are leading them right now, and Villa and Abraham, and some quality posts as well. They've been hit with a bunch of injuries, so not sure who will be suited up tomorrow. But they're a good team. They always are well coached. They're disciplined. They run their action really well.
Going in, it's your 5th year. Just how does it feel different than maybe the first year? Is it just the same thing that you're in a routine now?
Yeah, we 5th year, feel like we've established our culture. We've established how we want to do things, and we're have players that bring in the type of players that we want to bring in that really fit into our system. And this group is just a joy to coach. Like I said, they work really hard. They love each other. They are unselfish. And so we're just happy with our recruiting and with the way the type of kids that we brought in. They're just great human beings. And we think that we're representing Eastern really well. We love it. We're ready to go to battle.
Awesome. Thank you, Coach.
Thanks. Go East.